Right now, I'm going to welcome JT Engstrom from Metaphor. How are you doing this morning there, Mr. Engstrom?
Very well, thanks. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. What's on your mind this morning? We need to.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. You're looking well. Are you in Florida?
I am in Florida, doing very well. It was a great update by Zach. It's good to see you all.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So, hey, let's talk about tech, right? When we talk to Metaphor, we're talking about tech and really what is the right tech, how to incorporate it in there. Let's get into that. Accepting what comes in assessing transportation and logistics. How do you bring in that tech, and is all tech the same? How do you bring it in to help scale your business?
Yeah, well, certainly not all tech is the same, and one key area of our business that is super impactful in this space is assessing technology differences between two companies when being merged or integrated, and identifying opportunities to make the relation between those systems more effective to drive synergies. And so we gave a speech a week or so ago at a large banking conference and talked about this for about an hour, which is posted on social and probably also on FreightWaves. If not, Sure. It could be. In detail to talk about a lot of different economic drivers associated with leveraging technology for enhancing the economic benefit of doing acquisitions and integrating companies into platforms.
I think that's a great question. You know, when we're talking about, especially the M&A space with transportation and logistics tech, a lot of times often you see everyone has their in-house TMS. They have their own in-house technology. It's trying to fix a legacy system. When you're looking at a merger possibly and you see two competing, homebrew TMSs, so to speak, is there anything in specific you look for that would kind of say, maybe I need to take one or the other, or would you start from scratch?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I would segment my answer to your question such that, are both companies using off-the-shelf software? If so, should one of those vendors be selected, or which portion of those vendors should be selected in the tech stack? And can you consolidate expenses while simultaneously increasing visibility to, loads, data, information, customer accounts, things of that sort by doing so. The other bucket is there custom tech associated with either or both platforms? And if so, there's a unique discussion to be had around the capital expenditures in addition to the SG&A to build out and maintain those systems. And is there an opportunity to select one or the other? Or are each systems utilized for very specialized applications? Perhaps one is doing LTL consolidation, the other's, focused on drayage operations in California, that type of thing. At which point in time, there might be limited overlap, but still significant potential for synergy. And the third bucket is one platform operating on custom technology and the other with off-the-shelf technology. And how do you think about the interoperability in the build versus buy conversation? And so there's a lot of different ways to cut this up, and there's a lot of value drivers. And so, one thing our company does well is assessing all these different situations and opportunities when deals are occurring.
Yeah, so JT, it occurs to me that this is something that you really should be looking at long term, even if you're not in the M&A space right at this second with your company, right? If that is one of your strategies moving forward, not all tech, as you pointed out, is built the same, right? And it is important diligence to go through it and thinking this out. Is this something that an entrepreneur or the leadership of a company needs to be thinking about as they build out their tech space, the possibility of acquiring or being acquired, and where that plans is in their own future of that company?
That is a really good question, Mike. And the answer to it is absolutely. And you'll see some of the largest platforms in our space have been built utilizing custom technology, and that custom technology was designed deliberately to be able to make integrations easier, and as a result, it enhances the value proposition of their acquisition strategy. And that's a really material economic driver in building out a transportation platform that can grow to scale at a rapid pace because of both organic and inorganic growth opportunities.
I like what you're talking about, especially a competitive advantage based on your tech platform. And when we're looking at evaluating the IT team as part of the due diligence with any M&A activity, is there anything specifically you would look for, any characteristics that may set one IT team apart from another when we're looking into making those decisions on integration or, continuation?
Yeah. So you look at the talent of the org, their backgrounds, look at the product roadmaps of each organization. You also look at the capital budgeting associated with investing in each platform, and the SG&A burdens associated with those platforms in relation to the economics being driven through the system. And lastly, you look at that through a lens of to what level of scale is the system built for? And then are those ratios of either CapEx to investment or SG&A to revenue or operating income? Are there differences because of the scale that had been attained at that specific period point in time, or because one system is perhaps more efficient than the other? And it's important to understand the differences of the two, because if you find out that one system is significantly more efficient than the other, then you could have a more capital efficient technology platform in one of the two platform companies, which becomes a really significant investment discussion around, do you have an opportunity to increase the return on invested capital by utilizing one platform versus the other?
So, JT, right now we've got a lot of, there's been a lot of disruption, a lot of changes over the last few years, obviously, and we all know that unless you've been just asleep for 2 years, and a lot of development and advancements in tech and adoption. There's also those that aren't adopting it as quickly as they should be. In the M&A space, when you're looking at acquisition or looking to be acquired, when you look at this, is the tech becoming as important, or I guess my real question is more important than the actual performance of that company that may be being acquired or that you're looking at, because of the potential in the future is greater? Is that shifting a bit?
Yeah, that's also a great question. And this ties into the discussion around, can a logistics company or a transportation company demand a SaaS multiple?
Right.
Right. And there have been a lot of deals over the past, call it 5 years, where, what from the outside looking in is, could be looked at or viewed or perceived as a pure transportation company that the majority of buyers would value on an EV to EBITDA or, cash flow or net income style basis. Have been awarded significant revenue multiples, and that is because the systems are built for a material level of scale for markets that are far bigger than their existing penetration, and they're valuing future earnings and the potential of the system to create that value in the marketplace. And so absolutely, that's a really good question.
Excellent stuff.
One last question here. Given that we are going through such disruptions, do you predict any increase or decrease in M&A activity, as especially in the trucking and logistics sector?
It's also a unique question. I've had this conversation with multiple bankers over the past week. Last year was a very, very significant M&A market, largely or in part due to the sort of hangover from COVID in 2020. And so the way I would categorize my response to that answer is sort of a reversion back to normalcy in M&A, which would be, a relative year-over-year step down in the number of transactions, and perhaps a little bit below that due to certain economic factors happening in the marketplace. But within that context, still a relatively healthy M&A market, but perhaps just not as robust as 2021, which was, really phenomenal in the M&A space.
Yeah. Excellent stuff, JT. Always informative and interesting, and really nice to see you again, my friend. Be well and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being on the show.
You too. Thank you.